Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve,
And I'm Kim.
and today we're going to be talking about
Jars versus Mylar bags when it comes to your long-term food storage. So stay tuned. Okay guys, pretty sure everybody already comes down one way or another depending on what kind of food that you're storing. But this did come up in the comment section on one of our videos on somebody preferring jars over the Mylar bags. And we wanted to do a comparison on the two of them when it comes to long-term food storage. Now, as y'all seen in the past, we have done some of our working pantry stuff using jars and different kind of dry canning and oven canning and things like that. So we could be able to use them in a working pantry in smaller portions as compared to large portions in Mylar bags. And so, but we wanted to help this viewer out by kind of showing our opinion and why we hold our opinion that, I'm going to go ahead and say it, we prefer Mylar bags for long-term food storage. But I wanted to break it down, and I think this most affects people who are working on a budget. So Steve is here going to help me out, and hopefully he's feeling up to it because he's not feeling too great today. So I appreciate him kind of joining along with me because we're both down and out. I'm still injured. You're not feeling well, but we're going to get this done. Now, we're not going to go into actually oven canning. We have done that in previous videos on how to oven can. We might put a link up top to our long-term, short-term food storage videos that we have. And so, but today we're just going to cost compare, simplicity compare Mylar to jars. So today's experiment, we're going to be using a simple 20 pounds of rice. It says simple. It were $8 at Walmart, so pretty easy. The food itself is going to be the same in both. I got two 20-pound bags. 20 pounds are going to go into the Mylar, 20 pounds in the jars, and we'll see what we come up with cost and storage abilities. So we'll get started. I wanted to do the jars first because it probably take, honestly, the most amount of time because y'all seen us Mylar a million times. Probably, I don't know. Y'all probably do it yourselves. I got the largest jars that they had. Yeah, the rice. Got the largest jars that they had. Now, it came in a box of 6. These are the half-gallon jars. And that came out to $11 for the box. Now, broken down, that is $1.83 per jar, which sounds okay, right? So, we got our jars. And we're not going to go, like I said, go through all of the sterilizing and the oven canning and things like that. We're just going to see how much one of these jars will hold when it comes to 20 pounds of rice. So we may fast forward through this part. We may not. We may make you suffer through it. Only time will tell. So, handy dandy. Appreciate it.
here. Let me see your finger.
Make it feel better.
Since we're talking about long-term food storage, let's get into this for a bit, shall we?
Okay.
So, we all hear the term beans, bullets, and band-aids, and I'm pulling this information from a Bear Independent video, and I will put it there
Definitely.
and link you into it.
A lot of great information over there.
So, some things that you can long-term food store would be wheat, corns, beans, rice, and pasta, dry goods. So they would be candidates to either put in a jar or your Mylar. The pasta would probably be more apt to go into your jar than.
Yeah, definitely being able to do like elbow macaroni and do penne pastas would probably do very well in jars.
Now lasagna noodles could probably stand up straight in a
Yeah, if you
bag.
get a large one like this even,
or
a jar.
a bag.
Or a bag, yeah,
Yeah.
either one.
But where we're going with this is in equal amounts: wheat, corns, beans, rice, pasta. When you're putting that stuff away, you're going to need 750 pounds per person per year. Okay? So, divided equally, that's going to come out to, let me try to make sure I wrote his numbers down, 3,277.18 calories per day. Okay? Now, 3,200 calories per day is recommended for males age 16 to 35 who are doing strenuous work. Okay? So where we're going with this, and the premise for all this, is you're making a mess too.
I'm allowed to.
Okay. Equal rights here, I guess.
No.
So where we're going with this is Mylar versus jars, when you're setting aside 750 pounds of dry goods per year. You know, if your food already weighs 750 pounds, and then you're adding in the weight of these big ball jars to your pantry shelf, you better have some pretty strong pantry shelves and a lot of space. But we're going to get into that as we
We want to
see.
see how this turns out. Make sure we're getting them all the way up to the brim. Alright, last jar. See what we can do.
This will either be really cool or a real amusing anecdote.
Towards the top. Wow, look at that. Almost right to it.
Okay, so it was really cool and not an amusing
We
anecdote.
could probably skim a few of these a little bit and fill this one up and get them pretty even. But, or we could clean up our mess and fill up the jar. Here, throw that in that bag right quick. We're not gonna use this. Okay, so 20 pounds is all that was. And look what we have. It took all 6 jars to do 20 pounds. And this is hefty. So try lifting that. That is stout.
It's doable, but not from that angle.
Okay. And like I said, this cost me $11 to buy all these jars. Now, yes, absolutely they're reusable. And you can definitely get into that of being able to reuse these jars, but we're talking long-term food storage. Hopefully not having to break into them until things get very bad. I don't think it's a bad idea for short-term if you're using small amounts of rice over, like I said, 3 to 6 months. I think this would be a great short-term food. But like I said, this is only 20 pounds. 20 pounds of rice. And how many pounds of do we need a year?
750 pounds of food. 750 pounds per person per year.
All right, 750 divided by 20. You're going to need to do about 37 like this to get a year's worth of food. Now 37 times.
And we're just going on weight, and we're not even talking
Yeah.
protein chains and eating the beans and everything else.
37 times $11 per jar would cost you $400, over $400
All right.
for your year's worth of food. Now, let's compare that to our Mylar. Now, different Mylar bags cost differently. Absolutely. Oh, I still had some in there. I didn't realize that. There we go. That filled that up completely. Look at there. That one filled up that last jar. Boom. All done. Okay. Different Mylar bags cost differently depending what you have. Now, I went on Amazon for these prices, mainly because we have Prime, because a lot of this stuff is kind of hard to find in your local grocery stores. So we invest in doing Amazon Prime, which really, over the long term, does save us quite a bit on shipping and things. Now you have, this is a 5-gallon Mylar bag. Really big boy. We're not going to use this one today, but these we typically do 50 pounds of rice in. 50-pound bags of rice that we get at like Sam's Club and things like that. This plus an oxygen absorbers for a pack of 10, and I wrote this down because I just recently bought these, cost me $23. Oxygen absorbers and bags, that comes out to $2.03 each bag. One bag holding 50-gallon bags,
50 pounds.
50 pounds of food. Now the only thing is being able to find a bucket or something to put it in. Another couple extra dollars if you just go and buy one. But a lot of times you can find containers. Restaurants use buckets and find them cheap. I really enjoy the 1-gallon Mylar bags. Same thing, it came with oxygen absorbers. I bought a pack of 60 of these. I mean, a huge pack of them. And I've still been going through them, tons of them. But I really like them because I can put them into just about any container. I've used old coffee cans. Let me show them one of those buckets. We have old laundry soap buckets that we get for free, and I line them up in there. Because they're in Mylar, they're already sealed. Nothing's going to get to them. You mostly just want to put them in a bag where mice can't get to it to chew through it, or like in our case, or kitty cats don't step on it and poke holes in it. So yes, it is not as durable as the jars, but it is as durable as the container that you place it in. We have gotten metal containers to place some things in. We have gotten food storage buckets to be able to place them in, all the way up to the laundry soap to coffee cans. Pretty much any container that you can seal up and rodent proof, you can put your Mylar in, because the Mylar is the important part. The Mylar plus the oxygen absorber is the important part. Okay, so real quick, we're going to grab the other bag right here beside me. I got it right here. And we are going to see how many, oh, I forgot to say, our Mylar bags. The pack of 60 that I bought, like I said, with oxygen absorbers with them, cost me $22. That came out to only 35 cents per bag and one oxygen absorber. 35 cents. So each one of these, plus one oxygen absorber, is only 35 cents. Compare that to with the jars, and let's see how many of these will take to be able to fill up. Do you want to just do the bag, or do you want to scoop it? At least you start
I'm
out
not
with.
sure I can.
Okay. Okay, we're right there on the rim. We're right about here, so we want to make sure we're leaving enough room, like I said, to be able to seal it up. Okay, so that's one. Quick one. Okay. Yeah, we lost about the same as we did with the jars.
Yeah.
So, not a substantial amount, about the same. Okay. Count them. 3 bags of Mylar. And what they say, it was 35 cents times 3. It's cost us $1.05. 3 Mylar bags, so 20 pounds of rice, 3 Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers already included, cost us $1.05. The bucket that we're going to be putting them in was free. So, cost-wise, the exact same amount of food. 6 mason jars at $11 for the mason jars versus $1.05 for 3 bags. And I don't know about you, but these are way easier to try to find storage. You can use tubs. You can find, oh, you don't use a calculator? He's curious about something. You can use old tubs, which we have lined up, big storage tubs full of Mylar, small Mylar bags like this. What?
The 35 cents a piece for each setup.
Kind of cool though. So each one, like I said, 35 cents, $1.05 for each one of these. I think if you are considering yourself and making to being a prepper and putting food back storage, but you are worried about the cost, it is definitely a concern. If you are trying to budget as a prepper, this is something you're going to have to take into considerations. Now, a lot of people say, I can find mason jars for free, blah, blah, blah. Great. If you can get mason jars on the cheap, like I said, we do use them. But in our mid-range food, our working pantry, but when it comes to long-term food, if you're putting back 750 pounds per person per year to get your 1 year supply of food.
Now, also keeping in mind, we're a family of 4.
Yeah.
So 750 times 4.
Let's do that real quick. 750 times 4. We need 3,000 pounds of food
Per year.
per year. We're working on it. We're trying. But we have to be able to do this on a budget. And honestly, it was a hit to the pocketbook to be able to just buy that one thing of jars. Sometimes you may be able to catch them on sale. You sometimes, like I said, be able to find them at yard sales, but you've got to make sure they're in good condition, make sure the rims aren't cracked. There's a number of things that go into buying used mason jars. But to me, it is more cost effective if you're talking long-term food and you're having to put back a lot of it. Mylar bags are the more budget-friendly way to go. That's my opinion. Please feel free, debate it out in the comment section. If there is a portion of this that we may have overlooked, that makes you prefer mason jars over Mylar when it comes to long-term. Like I said, we do use them in our working pantry, but if you're talking 750 pounds of food per person per year, I think Mylar is the budget-friendly way to go. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for sticking with us through our little experiment, and I hope it was informative. It definitely was for us because we didn't know what the results are going to be when we started. So I was pleasantly surprised that we are sticking to a really great budget by sticking with Mylar. All right, guys. Again, thanks to Bear for giving us the numbers that we were using to help us work on our long-term food.
And like I said, I'm leaving a link to the video. But be sure to check out the series, the Prepper Classroom series that it's part of, because there's some phenomenal information there that you really need to know.
It's great for beginner preppers, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And for people that don't consider themselves beginners but may have not thought of something before.
This is true.
All right, guys. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do the YouTube things. It really helps us out. We are growing, and we love all of our new subscribers, and it's great.
It is.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
See ya.